All right, diving in today, and we love to get right to it. We're tackling curcuminoids,
Ah, yes.
which, for anyone who needs a quick reminder,
Yeah,
are those active compounds you find in turmeric.
exactly. Turmeric, that bright yellow spice.
So we've got these excerpts here laying out all the potential health benefits, and
Okay.
honestly, there's a lot to cover.
Yeah, there's quite a bit packed in here.
Our mission today is to really zero in on the most interesting, the most compelling stuff without getting,
Right.
too bogged down in the details.
Yeah, not get lost in the weeds. We want those key takeaways for everyone.
Absolutely. And just spanning through this source,
Yeah,
it's pretty amazing how many different areas of health curcuminoids seem to touch on.
it really is. It's impressive how versatile these compounds seem to be. Like the sheer range of potential benefits is pretty remarkable.
So first off, let's talk inflammation. The source really highlights curcuminoids' anti-inflammatory power,
Right. Powerful anti-inflammatory properties. Yeah.
suggesting they could be helpful for things like arthritis.
Especially conditions like arthritis and inflammatory bowel disease. Things that are really driven by that chronic inflammation.
Now, we hear that word a lot, inflammation, but what does it actually mean in this context? Like, what's the significance of that?
Okay, so think of chronic inflammation like this. It's like a low-grade fire that's constantly burning inside your body.
Oh, I see.
And over time, that fire, it could damage your tissues. It contributes to all sorts of diseases, heart disease, cancer, Alzheimer's, the list goes on.
Wow. Okay.
And the way curcuminoids are thought to work is they actually interfere with some of the key molecules that are fueling that fire.
Got it. So it's not just about putting out the fire,
Right.
but actually kind of like dampening the fuel source?
Exactly, getting to the root of the problem.
Yeah, okay, that makes sense. Now, the source also calls curcuminoids powerful antioxidants.
Yes, absolutely.
So what does that mean in practical terms, like for you and me? What does that actually do?
Well, you can picture it this way. Your cells are constantly under attack by these things called free radicals.
Okay.
They're like tiny little, I don't know, rust particles that cause damage.
Yeah.
And antioxidants, which curcuminoids are, they come in and they neutralize those free radicals.
Oh,
It's like
okay.
little cleanup crews, protecting your cells and contributing to your overall health and well-being.
So it's like they're fighting on two fronts then.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. They're tackling both the inflammation and this oxidative stress from those free radicals.
Interesting. Now, for anyone out there dealing with pain on a regular basis,
Right?
the source suggests curcuminoids could offer some natural pain relief,
Mm-hmm.
especially for chronic conditions like osteoarthritis, joint pain, things like that.
Exactly. Yeah.
Is there any actual science behind this, or is this just kind of like wishful thinking?
I mean, it's not wishful thinking. There's definitely research supporting this idea. Remember how we talked about curcuminoids being so good at reducing inflammation?
Yeah.
Well, a lot of types of pain, especially chronic pain, are driven by inflammation.
Okay.
So by tackling that underlying inflammation, curcuminoids can help reduce those pain signals that your body's sending.
So it's not like directly blocking the pain.
Right. It's more about addressing the root cause.
It's about addressing that underlying issue, which is really interesting.
Yeah. And it's a more holistic approach to pain management.
Yeah, exactly. And of course, turmeric has been used in cooking for ages, especially for digestive health.
That's right.
And this source actually says that curcuminoids can help with things like bloating, gas, indigestion.
Yeah, they can help soothe the digestive tract, ease those kinds of discomforts.
Is there a reason why that might be? Like, how would they actually help with those specific issues?
Well, the source doesn't go into a ton of detail on the mechanisms, but we know that curcuminoids can help reduce inflammation, and inflammation can definitely play a role in digestive upset.
Oh, right. So it could be that anti-inflammatory effect again.
Yeah, exactly. It's probably helping to calm things down in the gut.
Makes sense. All right, this next one I think is really interesting, especially for those of us thinking about long-term health.
Okay.
This source suggests that regular curcumin intake might actually support heart health.
Yeah, there's definitely some promising research in that area.
And it mentions things like improving endothelial function. If I don't know about you, but I'm not entirely sure what that means.
Right. Well, the endothelium is the lining of your blood vessels.
Okay,
And for good circulation, that lining needs to be healthy and functioning properly.
got it.
So curcuminoids seem to help with that. They also reduce oxidative stress, which can damage blood vessels.
Yeah, we talked about that earlier.
Right, and they may even help lower cholesterol levels. So all of these factors combined suggest that curcuminoids could offer some significant cardiovascular benefits.
That's pretty remarkable.
Yeah, it really is.
Thinking about just this one compound and how it can potentially impact so many different systems in the body.
It speaks to the power of nature, doesn't it?
It really does. Now, what really caught my eye was the mention of brain health.
Oh, yeah.
The idea that curcumin might actually enhance brain function and potentially protect against age-related decline by boosting something called BDNF.
Right, BDNF, brain-derived neurotrophic factor.
Now, I am definitely not a scientist, so break that down for me. What is that and why is it important?
Okay, well, you can think of BDNF like fertilizer for your brain cells.
Okay,
It helps them grow, it helps them survive, it helps them stay healthy.
got it. So more BDNF, good for the brain.
Exactly. And the suggestion is that curcumin might encourage the production of more BDNF.
Wow, that's fascinating.
Yeah, it really is. It has implications for everything from learning and memory to mood, and even potentially protecting against neurodegenerative diseases like Alzheimer's.
And speaking of mood, this source also hints at a possible link between curcumin and, get this, symptoms of depression and anxiety.
Yeah, that's another area where there's growing interest and some promising research.
I mean, that's not something I would have expected.
Pretty remarkable, right?
How could curcumin potentially impact something as complex as mood?
Well, the thinking is that it might influence the levels of certain brain chemicals that play a role in mood regulation.
Okay.
And again, remember the anti-inflammatory properties.
Right.
Well, there's increasing evidence that chronic inflammation can contribute to mental health issues like depression and anxiety.
So curcumin might be helping on that front as well.
Exactly. By reducing inflammation, it could potentially create a more balanced environment in the brain.
Okay, that's really interesting. Now, the source also mentions ongoing research into curcumin and cancer prevention. That's a pretty big topic.
It is a huge topic, and it's important to note that the source is careful with its language. It talks about curcumin's potential role in cancer prevention.
Right, so it's not saying it's a cure.
Absolutely not. What the research is exploring is how curcumin might interfere with different stages of cancer development. Like, could it stop a tumor from growing? Could it prevent cancer cells from spreading? These are the kinds of questions scientists are investigating.
So early stages, but potentially very promising.
Exactly.
What about our immune system? Can curcuminoids actually give our defenses a boost?
Well, the source suggests that they can help modulate the activity of different immune cells.
Okay, what does that mean, modulate?
It basically means they can help fine-tune the immune response, making it more effective.
Oh, okay.
So in theory, this could make your body better equipped to fight off infections and illnesses.
That's pretty impressive. And lastly, for anyone who's struggled with skin issues, the text mentions potential benefits for conditions like acne.
Right, and that makes sense given what we've already talked about.
Yeah, with the anti-inflammatory and antioxidant properties.
Exactly. Curcuminoids could help calm the skin, reduce redness and irritation.
So it seems like they're really hitting all the bases here.
They really are. It's pretty remarkable.
Now, before we wrap up, there's a really important point the source makes about getting the most out of curcumin.
Okay,
You need to take it with fat or black pepper.
that's a crucial point. You see, curcumin on its own isn't absorbed very well by the body,
Oh, I see.
but when you consume it with fat, it helps it dissolve and get
Uh-oh.
into your system.
Okay.
And black pepper contains this compound called piperine,
Uh-huh.
and piperine dramatically increases the absorption of curcumin.
So that's really key to seeing any potential benefits.
Absolutely. Without that, you might not be getting the full effects.
Okay, good to go. So taking all of this in, curcuminoids, according to this source at least, offer a pretty wide range of potential health perks, right?
A surprisingly wide range, yeah.
We're talking inflammation, pain, brain health, heart health, digestion, immune support, even skin health. It's pretty impressive.
It really is a fascinating compound, a lot packed into that little molecule.
This deep dive has definitely given us a solid, quick understanding of what this source is suggesting.
It has. And it makes you wonder, considering all these potential benefits packed into one natural compound, what other surprises might nature hold for our well-being?
That's a great point. What other things are out there that we haven't even begun to fully understand?
Exactly. There's so much more to discover.
Absolutely. Something to think about. And as always, everyone, it's important to have a chat with your doctor before making any big changes to your diet.
Right. Always a good idea.
Thanks for diving deep with us.
Thanks for having me.